Welcome to our lovely 5D collective, our future humans, our stable sense of self, the collective that doesn't feel burdened or struggling with that which is resilience. So you do know how groundedness feels in your body. You also know how connectedness feels, and above all, how to be present. So, mystic, spiritual, mindful, all of that well being, there's a lot of people that struggle with it. And that's where the difference isn't in better or worse, it's nervous system sovereignty and the steady self. So, we've discussed recently the world's chaos and rigidity. And I like to bring in, when you hear me teasing 3D, 4D, it's the spiritual bypassers, somatic bypassers. Now, some would say, Maria, it's not really nice for you to tease those who struggle with that which is self-regulation, that which is themselves, and that which is their comfort zone. And I have this thing called funny bone, but also, what's it called? That song came into my mind. I have that objective observation that anyone who will, alongside any emotion intelligent, whether spiritual, mystic, or mindful, you'll notice the validation loops. So I'm learning how to take that which is my own irritable butthole and share with you all. And then to say we respect the ones who have an unsteady self-image and who choose to disengage from the good professionals that are out there, which I'm going to also make a note of. There's good therapists, and those are the ones who help someone get a steady self-image. Now, once they have that, if they want to join our journal prompts and mindset practices, there's a number of them that I offer for purchase on PayHip, or the Substack digital newsletter. There's a free plan, and then there's going to be a paid plan. They're welcome to, but if they're looking to validate the charge, it says like, okay, what do you want from me? So I'm not teasing because I think it's funny. It's that I have the timeline and I was informed that 3D 4D wouldn't budge, and I understand how the dark sides of neuroplasticity works, as well as people who follow around emotional immaturity, unhealed leaders, fear-based leaders. It doesn't matter what their words, their names are. They act to say, this is my proof, and I'll say, see, you really don't care about yourself. Fear creates followers, love creates leaders, but you don't think you actually have a comfort zone with up and down and up and down. So it's very easy for steady self with emotional intelligence to spot the ones who are not doing personal responsibility, including the professional responsibility. And when you tell people the truth in their face, meaning you just told me about clinical dissociation, I'm attachment trauma educated, and they don't hear you. So yeah, this is the part of, it's not a good group, it's not a bad group, but resilience, for those who still struggle, the path is clear. You work with a therapist until you're ready to pick up yourself and say, as a responsible, functional child adult, let me teach children how to, a third attunement, repair and rupture, how to emotionally mature so that they can use the bright sides of neuroplasticity. And so here we have conversations. The journal prompts are for those who put this into practice. And so it's a path to growth, resilience, because you grow yourself. It's a path to mastery, yes, mental and emotional mastery. And it's a path to well-being. And when your comfort zone doesn't mean healthy, it just means what you're used to. And there are those who think of predictability of a push-pull dynamic. So in, for example, love from the visceral, that's actual true love. You're like, okay, you're misinformed, but it doesn't matter if I say those words or if I say you're off your rockers. Anyone who wants to find an excuse for why they're going to continue to believe what they believe, they will tell you that they're objective truths, and you'll say, okay, hey Neil, so you know how you said there's only a certain, no, you said there's all these objective truths, or you made it sound like there were, but they're not. There's only a handful. So long story short, that's why T is 3D 4D. But here we get to chit chat about what it's like to actually interact with those who are burdened. You don't regulate to their nervous system. And so when I meet spiritual bypassers who are telling us a story, just came across one recently where we have to go through chaos in order for us to achieve stability. Thanks for your narrative. That's what you need. Apparently, pressure No, that's the bullshit statement. That's why I'm trying to help you understand. I don't understand instability inside. It's I consistently know what's steadiness inside and it's comfortable. So inner peace, the enlightenment soul age group expert yogis, they're comfortable with darkness. I'm bringing the human words. It's neuroscientist, flow state. You all can get it. Selflessness, effortlessness. No, selflessness, timelessness, effortlessness, richness. So I know enough about all of the neuroscience, neurobiological, mental health information, but also I have my own embodied lived experience, and I take my profession seriously, mentor, content creator, podcast host, to help people to be themselves. Well, they won't need you for that. Well, they don't need me. They'll want me because I don't bullshit them, but also because they're not looking to validate their bad habits, whatever they may be. You don't look to validate your charges because you'll notice how it's stagnating energy. So when I see the 4D, that's why I interact with spiritual and personal. Spiritual sovereignty means you have personal sovereignty, which means you have nervous system sovereignty, which means your child parts are cool, which means you do notice when you get childish. Am I clear? And when you get childish, you don't stay a teenage version of yourself, which is that fight response modulated. You move more again and again into the restorative embodiment. I've learned to look at myself with you, my lovely community. So how do I get to work with the irritable butthole of mine, with those who don't know how to stay grounded, they don't know how to stay connected, and they don't know how to stay present in the face of uncertainty, unknowns, unwanteds, unexpecteds, all of the uns, and then crisis and change. I'm like, I don't feel changed because that's how easy it is to stay Maria. And even if I didn't have a name, it's called a sense of self. Okay, so that's our 5D collective. And I do tease, with all due respect to those who are, how can I break it down? So I'm going to use that which is lovely notes. Prophecy, speak forth mind and heart of God to encourage, comfort, challenge, or strengthen. And the word of wisdom, diffuse conflict and provide clarity. So these are spiritual gifts, which are the same, by the way, as clairs, and scientists look into too. And here's Ruth Lanius for a minute. The whole goal of trauma treatment is to help people feel safe in their bodies. And so when you do know that all of our brothers and sisters can achieve the same wholeness that we have, you just recognize that if they're following around those who are dysregulated, fear-based leaders, and they're making up stories and they're not noticing that they're bringing it our way, it's because they all lead with the same comfort zone. That is a visceral, so that's insecure, not securely attached. People like to think we need to struggle in life. We already, when we're birthed, have that. So if you have a steady self-image, you don't struggle with resilience because you know inner peace, because you have life's purpose. Use your name, and then you know you're heard. And so here, I'm the pseudoscience woo lady, but I know what I'm talking about. And when people roll their eyes or don't want to hear the details, I just remind myself of what epistemic laziness is. And then I also remind myself that they all have effective realism, and they disengage from noticing that their really strong feelings make them think they know facts, and I'm the dumbass who doesn't know objective truths, which I really would not use that word. So a handful of facts plus a handful of data being built by smart human beings. If you have struggled still with resilience and the world's asking more of you, I'm going to say, if you're responsible personally, you're going to be professionally responsible. You're going to make sure you go to somatics, MDR, child parts work, and once you're done, you don't do, I won't let them out. Then you know, now I'm going to expand my window welcome, because that's your health and well-being, and that's common sense to those who have a steady self-image. Why would I do myself dirty? There's no point in it. That's like wrong. It's called not love. So it's only confusing to love yourself, and that's where, thanks Patrick Chan, when you didn't have the first 8 years of your life, and then as you continued, that which is a good support system. So when some spiritual bypasser wants to say that they know what spiritual sovereignty is, but they're talking to me about we need chaos in order to achieve growth, no, we don't. We actually consistently have a threat. It's called dark matter, dark energy, and for those who don't believe it's the cosmos, I mean, it is what it is. You can't make anyone believe in something that they don't. Science, it's data. It's really not supposed to fit in there, but hey, you know what? Subjective reality. So we respect that. And that's why 3D, 4D, if they want to continue with their stories, they will. And we will continue with doing resilience, not a struggle. It's an opportunity, self-growth, mental and emotional mastery, and well-being, because you're in the restored embodiment. And as a self-aware, accountable, regulating person, you continue to grow. So check out PayHip, check out Substack, subscribe, share with others who have a steady self-image and who enjoy a little bit of spiritual, a little bit of mystic, a little bit of, it's all the same. And then the science stuff, of course, and personal growth particularly. I do mentorship one-to-one. If anyone's interested, reach out. Have a good one.